Hello again, my friends. This is Dane at ZIMM'S Guitars. And again, I got my buddy Glenn down here today, and he brought a really cool guitar. Glenn, what'd you bring in today?
Well, it's a wrong case. It's not a historic case, but it does reveal a gem. It's a 1968 Gibson SG Custom, and they did these in white, so finding a 68 that's in walnut is kind of rough. This is kind of rough. It's got a broken knob here, and they're not even the real knobs. They look like Fender, amp knobs on it. But everything else is original, and the surprising thing when we looked at it, there were 3 PAFs in it, and they're original. So that's kind of
original PAFs.
Yeah, you see some PAFs that as late as the late 60s show up, especially with the gold hardware, and this is one of them. And the gold is kind of worn off. The nickel, you can see the nickel here. It's just been rode hard and put away wet over the years. But
so when you say, let me ask you a few questions. When you say PAF pickups, what
patent applied for?
Patent applied for.
The original humbuckers were patent applied for, and you see the patent applied for sticker on the backs of the pickups.
And those are way more valuable, huh?
Yeah, I believe it or not, I see them at 10 and 13 grand a set on reverb right now, which I think is ridiculous. But hey, they sound good. That's for darn sure. And this one here, this one here has been played, and we're going to clean it up. I hadn't had a chance to clean it up, and it's got its battle scars and buckle wraps.
This is your new purchase just today, huh?
Just picked this one up.
Man, that's really cool. You brought it in.
Got the waffle back tuners, which I think are so cool.
Waffle back tuners.
Yeah, they call them waffle backs because they're like waffle backs.
I see that.
And it's kind of cool. But it's got the original pickups, the original pots, the lyre tremolo. We do have the arm in the case.
Tell me about that tremolo. Let me scoot down over here by you.
What it is, if you can see it, there's a lyre, like the old, Roman lyre that they played, and it says Gibson, and they call that a lyre tremolo. Of course, all of the gold plating's long since, moved on. And the pick guard's just gotten real nice and creamy yellow. Just a great find, and it's a cool guitar. Of course, they are getting a little bit expensive, even in the condition that this one's in, highly played. I call it rode hard and put away wet, but everything's functional, everything's there, and it sounds pretty good.
So in cleaning this thing up, what do you intend to do to this thing to clean it up and make it off?
I'm going to pull the hardware off of it,
okay.
Pull everything off. I won't break the solder joints on the pickups, of course. And what I'll do is I'll just polish this all out and clean it up. I mean, right now it's got somebody's DNA on it from the last 50 years, and we'll get that off. We'll treat the rosewood board. It's actually an ebony board, but if you look there, it's got some nice light streaks in the ebony, which is cool. But a custom, anytime you see a Gibson Les Paul Custom or an SG Custom, it should have an ebony board on it, which this one does.
So if it says Les Paul Custom,
if it's a custom, not a custom shop, but if it's a custom Les Paul Custom or an SG Custom, it's going to have an ebony board. And the thing with the custom, back then, of course we have the custom shop now, back in the 60s and stuff, if you got a custom, it was handmade, so they were cut above the normal production guitars. Nice. And the triple pickup 68 is just iconic. They're just great guitars. This has been refretted.
Has it been refretted?
It has, because you don't see the binding over the ends.
That's right.
What they call the nibs are gone.
The nibs are gone.
But they did a decent job, and we'll make sure that she's playing right. And I just kind of really like the guitar. It's just an awesome piece, and it's a good find. It's one of those finds you just don't see. We'll find the original knobs. We'll spend a few bucks on it.
Well, usually I ask guys to plug them in and play them, but because this thing is, you just got it, it's not cleaned up yet.
And these strings are decrepit.
And didn't you say that the jack there, or the input, the selector switch?
A selector switch is going to need a little bit of repair or replacement. Of course, everything you replace on these gets expensive if you do it with the original stuff.
And again, getting those new knobs for it, man.
Yeah, that's going to be about $1.25. That'd be about 125 bucks for the knobs.
Wow.
It's a 60s guitar.
Uh-huh.
No way around it. They're expensive.
That thing is killer, man. Glenn, thank you so much, man. What was that site again? Were you going to have this thing up for sale one of these days?
It will be.
What's your site called?
GuitarBazaar.net.
Awesome. Thank you so much for bringing it in. Later.
See how dense it is? Brazilian.
All right, so we're still messing with this thing. And I was asking Glenn, I was looking up at the Gibson logo up there, and Glenn, again, what year did they not dot the I in the
Late
Gibson?
60s, you see it happen into the early 70s, I mean very early 70s. There's no dot above the I, and the O on Gibson is not closed. Of course, you know, Custom's going to be bound all around the headstock. And Jim makes this guitar sound so
He
good.
does, good player. How's that neck feel to you, man? What's your thoughts?
He should do it in a band someday.
Yeah, someday,
I
right?
heard stories about that.
Yeah, but the statute of limitations is passed.
How's that neck feel to you? You like the
This is an
profile?
amazing feeling neck. This is the way you wanted Les Paul Customs to feel when they had standard Les Paul bodies. But no, they couldn't do that.
It's when they were built right.
Now I noticed that it doesn't have the volute at the back of the neck. What year did they start doing those?
Late 70s again, Norland, and what they would do is they would put a bump, let's say, right there, and the
Right.
idea was that it was going to strengthen the neck joint, but they
Right.
actually put the volutes above the neck joint, and it really didn't do a damn thing.
I gotcha.
And they got bigger and bigger and bigger until like 74, 75 they stopped doing
And
it.
I know I've got some Schecters, I got some other guitars that still do that, but I guess it's
It's
just
a good
because of
idea.
old.
It's a good idea if you put the wider spot right below the neck, especially on these SGs because they're such thin necks. That's why a lot of the SGs from that time period have broken necks. I'm just stoked to get this one. It's
Right.
a good find.
That's cool, bro.
It's just, what a great neck.
It plays nice. I think it's the player too that's got something to do with it.
It's all in the fingers, they say.
Oh, Jim's been playing about 3 years now. He's got it.
At least, no, 6 months, but I'm a fast learner.
That's
Listen,
what happens when you take lessons at ZIMM'S Guitars. Man.
That's
It
it.
doesn't take long.
from Zim himself, though.
Just beautiful tone.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
And it's not a
Later.
big setup.